It's great to hear a number of schemes which would enhance cycle safety and hopefully pedestrian safety as well. I do agree with the lady who's just spoken. There are many places in the city where signage is extremely poor. That's certainly an issue that's been raised constantly in the north of the city on Milton Road, and as you say, there are many areas in the west central area as well that have that problem. I also want to endorse the comment John Hipkin has just made about Huntingdon Road scheme. Although we haven't yet seen ourselves the final proposals, we do, at long last in this city, finally face the possibility of a scheme that actually meets some kind of national standards for cycling, and which segregates cyclists away from both cars and particularly pedestrians. In other words, a proper three-network approach: pedestrians, cycles, motorists, which hopefully will be the first time in the city where we can get rid of some of the sort of problems that are often alluded to. So I very strongly endorse the idea that you know, if there are funds that can be used to extend the scope of that scheme to help the very hard-working cycling team that are delivering that, I think that would be a good idea. I'd also just like to follow up the suggestion from Lucy Nettinger, if I've got the name right, sorry. You mentioned there some of the junctions on the ring road. I mean, the inner ring road is an absolute catalogue of cycle collisions, pedestrian collisions. Every single part of that is, if you look on the collision map, is just lots and lots of circles, lots and lots of circles. The double roundabout you mentioned has long been at the very top of the county's schemes that need doing. There are many things you could do there, not only removing the ridiculous one-way system through Newtown, but also in general sorting out that roundabout properly. And I think one of the valuable things that you could really do to deal with the problem of those is actually simply commission a study about how that whole inner ring road could be made cycle safe. Because the problem, every time we've raised the problem of those junctions, is we can't do this junction because it would affect traffic the next one up. And that's always been the blocker. And the only way to unlock that is to get a proper study that looks at that whole corridor joining Newmarket Road up to Newnham, basically that whole corridor as a proper scheme that could be very high quality for cycling, again, proper segregation or whatever, in a way that you know, makes cycling a lot quicker and a lot safer, and as a result of that would also get people out of their cars for many of the journeys that go on there. And you know, we all know how congested that is, and until we address the safety there, that congestion is never going to be fixed. And so I would strongly recommend something like a £50,000 study to actually look at that as a proper, you know, an overall scheme. And even if it takes several years to address the particular junctions, at least there will be a kind of overall plan there.
Right, thanks. I was going to take Richard. I really need to... The whole point of this is to flag up the fact that there's a new process, it's a consultation. We want your views in, we want detailed emails to your preferred councillors or direct to Dan so that we can get a scheme in place. But Richard?
Yes, just echoing really the previous speaker. I was thinking more from a pedestrian point of view on the inner ring road, but there are numerous hazards, and so it's pedestrians, cyclists, motorists. The particular one I had in mind was Mount Pleasant, Shelley Row and so on, where there are residents who are stuck on an island between the two directions of the inner ring road, and maybe that scheme is already agreed and going forward separately, possibly, but that was the one I wanted to raise as an example.
Thanks. That is under investigation by Andy Preston. And yes, would you like to sort of very quickly, please?
Class Boomer. I heard that Patton Street going to be converted into two-way for cycling. If you do that, please don't leave out the last bit of Union Road between Patton Street and Alfeda Street. Very easy, but when you're in that area, otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Sean, I think, would you sort of draw a line on this for us?
What I wanted to just do was ask a process question, which is I think the idea of using money to commission studies is a good idea, because it gives us a way of really planning out expenditures way beyond this structure that's necessary. And I wondered whether the Section 106 money could be used to fund studies of the type that Martin suggested.
Yeah, it can be. The East Area Committee have asked us to put £50,000 towards a study at the Euston Gateway Market Road. So,
right, Dan, do you think you've triggered enough activity here?
Yes.
But it is up to us all as individual councillors to encourage our own residents to come back with their ideas and to help channel these through to the county. So thank you very much for coming to talk to us.
Thank you.